who started Reformation movement in Germany? Related to Christianity, one more important question. Who started Reformation movement in Germany? Reformation movement was started by Martin Luther. Martin Luther. Martin Luther started Reformation movement against Roman Catholic Church at Germany. As a result, finally, the Christianity is divided into two main sects. That is, one more new sect came into existence. They were the followers of Martin Luther. In this way, Christianity was broke out into two main sects. So, which are the two main sects of Christianity? First one is Roman Catholics. First one is Catholics, and second one is Protestants. So many sects are there. Under that, two are very important here. That is, one is Catholics and one more is Protestants. Remember, two main sects of Christianity. It was broke out. That is, Roman Christianity was divided into two sects. The reason was Reformation movement. Reformation movement that was took place at a place called Germany by Martin Luther. So this much about Christianity. Next about Islam. Where did Islam religion originate? Islam religion originated. Islam religion originated at Arabia. So remember, Christianity was originated at a place called Najd province of Palestine. At the same time, this Islam religion was originated at a place called Arabia. And you know that Arab is a desert land. So the people, they moved from place to place and finally shifted to the fertile land of other parts of Arabia, that is to Mecca and Medina. That is the fertile land. So there they came and settled. Next, which is the most important religious place of Islam? Which place was famously called as the important religious center of Islam religion? So remember, Kaaba. Kaaba is the most important religious center. Religious center of Islam religion. Religious center or holy place of Islam or for Muslims. So remember, which is the most important religious center of Islam? Kaaba. Next, who? That is, where was the Prophet Muhammad Paigambar born? Prophet Muhammad Paigambar was born at a place called Mecca. In 570 Common Era. Muhammad Paigambar, the founder of Islam religion, Prophet Muhammad Paigambar. Prophet Muhammad Paigambar was born at Mecca in 570 Common Era. Prophet Muhammad Paigambar was born at a place called Mecca in 570 Common Era. So he was married to a lady, widow called Khadija. First he was served under Khadija and later he was married to Khadija. And finally he was started his meditation at the Hira mountain or mountain and came to be called as Paigambar, came to be called as Messiah or the Savior by the common people, and they considered Muhammad Paigambar as a mediator between the God and the people. So he was a person who was responsible for getting message from the God, and he was played important role as a mediator between the common people and the God. That was the mentality of the people. But here the reason, one more question is related to Islam religion. That is very important question here. So that is what is Hijri era or Hijra era? One and the same here. Two important spellings are there, that is you have to concentrate. One is Hijri and one more is Hijra. So what do you mean by Hijra era? What is Hijra era? So important question related to the life of Muhammad Paigambar. So it totally changed the life of Muhammad Paigambar, and also the Muslim lunar calendar was start from this Hijra era. So what do you mean by Hijra era? Hijra or Hijri means departure. So what is this? Paigambar opposed polytheism. Polytheism. What do you mean by polytheism or polytheism? Polytheism means here worshipping more than one god. That was a practicing Muslim before the birth of Muhammad Paigambar. So that system was completely, because the nature was also praised or prayed by the Muslims. So this system was completely opposed by Muhammad Paigambar in Mecca. So he strongly, Muhammad Paigambar strongly opposed polytheism. So important question, remember. So the people of Mecca started to oppose the teachings or the preachings of Muhammad Paigambar because he opposed their practice. Polytheism was a practice by the people of Mecca, but it was opposed by Muhammad Paigambar. That's why they started to oppose the ideas of Muhammad Paigambar, and also they made a plan to kill or murder Muhammad Paigambar. So by knowing this, whatever the plan of the people of Mecca, immediately Muhammad Paigambar left Mecca and came to Medina. Departure, that is called as a Hijra. Departure of Muhammad Paigambar. He left Mecca and came to Medina in the year 622 Common Era. He left Mecca and came to Medina in the year 622 Common Era. Remember, important date. So this year is famously called as Hijra era. Hijri means departure. Departure of whom? Muhammad Paigambar. From where? From Mecca to Medina. Why? The people of Mecca opposed the ideas or the teachings of Muhammad Paigambar. That's why he left that place and came to Medina. So that event was famously called as Hijra era. So the Muslim or the Islam lunar calendar was starts from Hijra era. So that event was took place in 622 Common Era. Important question related to Muhammad Paigambar about Hijra era or Hijra. What is a Hijra? Next, after that, here the people of Medina, they welcomed this Paigambar and supported Muhammad Paigambar. Many people became the follower of Muhammad Paigambar. So with their support, once again he attacked on Mecca. Mecca came under the control of Paigambar, and the people of Mecca also started to support the ideas of Muhammad Paigambar. So last, when did Paigambar die? So Muhammad Paigambar was died in 632 Common Era. Paigambar or Muhammad Paigambar died. Muhammad Paigambar died in 632 Common Era. So remember here 570 Common Era, that is the birth of Muhammad Paigambar. 622 Common Era, that is the important event, historical event, that is called as Hijra era, departure of Muhammad Paigambar, and 632, that is the death of Muhammad Paigambar. So that is about the early life of Muhammad Paygambar. Here I won't explain the teachings of Islam religion or the contribution of Islam religion. Only the points that is related to one sentence important questions I am discussing here. So concentrate on the teachings of Islam religion and the reason for the popularity of Muslim religion or the Islam religion, and also the contribution of Islam religion to the world. So that you have to read. Before that, what are the main, that is who is called as a Muslim and what do you mean by Islam? What is the meaning of Islam and who is called as a Muslim? So important question, multiple choice question, concentrate Islam. So what is the meaning of Islam? Islam means submission. Submission of oneself before the God. Oneself before the God is called as Islam. So remember, what do you mean by Islam? Islam means submission, total surrender of oneself before the God is called as Islam. Then who is called as Muslim? Who is called as Muslim, or what is the meaning of Muslim? Muslim means the follower of God. The follower of God. Islam means submission of oneself, surrender of oneself before the God, and Muslim means the follower of God. The follower of God is called Muslim. So remember, meaning or the who is called as a Muslim. So here this question will be asked for 1 marks or it will be asked for multiple choice question. Next, what are the 5 important rituals of Islam? The 5 important rituals are very important and famous in Islam religion. What are they? That is, first one is Kalima. First one is Kalima. The first one is Kalima. Second one is Namaz. Second one is Namaz. Third one is Roza. Third one is Roza. Fourth one is Zakat. Fourth one is Zakat. And fifth one is Hajj. The 5 important rituals of Muslim or Islam religion. That is, first one is Kalima. So what do you mean by Kalima? Believe in only one God called Allah. So the main idea of Muslims or the Islam religion is there is only one God. Believe in only one God called Allah, and Prophet is the follower of God. Prophet is called as here is Muhammad. That is, Muhammad Paygambar is the prophet, of whom prophet sent by the God. That was the main idea of Islam, that is Kalima. Next comes Namaz. So you already know what is Namaz, offering prayer for Allah, that is 5 times in a day. 5 times in a day, that is called as a Namaz. Next, Roza. So what do you mean by Roza? That is keeping fasting in the month of Ramzan. In the month of Ramzan, that is Roza, that is called as Roza, keeping fasting by the Muslims during the month of Ramzan, that is called as Roza. And next comes Zakat. So what is this Zakat? Definite sum to be spared in the income to give to the poor. So the definite sum of rupee kept aside by the people. Why? To give grant or share to the poor people. So that system is called as a Zakah system. And finally is Hajj. So what do you mean by Hajj? Pilgrimage to Mecca, at least once in a life. Pilgrimage to Mecca, that is a holy center of Islam religion, holy place of Islam religion. once in a life. It's called as a Hajj. So these are the 5 important rituals or the pilgrims that is followed by the practiced by Islam religion. One is Kalima, second one is Namaz, third one is Roza, Zakat, Hajj. So that is about a pilgrimage once in a lifetime. Hajj means pilgrimage once in a lifetime. So that is about Islam religion. Last points related to Islam religion. Who are caliphs? Who are called as caliphs? The follower or the successors. The successors of Paigambar, successors of Muhammad Paigambar are called as caliphs. Then who was the first caliph? Who was the first caliph? Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr was the first caliph. Who was caliph? The follower or the successor of Muhammad Paigambar is called as a caliph, and was the first caliph, that is Abu Bakr was the first caliph. And next, name the most important sects of Islam religion. So Islam religion has many sects, and among that 2 are most important, considered as the important sects of Islam religion. One is Shia and one more is Shias and second one is Sunnis. First one is Shia Muslim, second one is Sunnis. 2 main important sects or the divisions of Islam religion. So this much about the important points related to Islam religion. So first here who was the founder, that is Muhammad Paigambar. Islam religion is originated at a place called Arabia. Their holy place is Kaaba. Important religious center of Muslim is Kaaba. Next, Prophet Muhammad Paigambar was born at a place called Mecca in 570 Common Era. Hijra era, that is departure of important event that was related to the life of Muhammad Paigambar. He left Mecca and came to Medina. So this event was famously called as Hijra era, that was took place in 622 Common Era. Next, he was died at the age of in 632 Common Era. About Islam and religion, Islam and Muslim. Islam means submission of oneself before the God. Muslim means the follower of God. The 5 important practice rituals of Muslim religion: Kalima, Namaz, Roza, Zakat, Hajj, and 2 main sects of Islam religion, Shias and Sunnis. And the followers of Prophet are called as caliphs. The first important caliph was Abu Bakr. So this much about Christianity and Islam religion. The first lesson. Regarding this lesson, any doubts you can call and ask with me. Thank you. Students, welcome to the class. Next, about lesson 2, chapter 2, that is unit 2. Medieval India and political transition. Second important lesson of history part, that is medieval and India and political transition. That first question, which period is called as transitional period? Important question. Which period is famously called as the period of transition or transitional period? Second, the second half of 12th century and the first half of 13th century is famously called as the period of transition or transitional period. So this period is famously called as transitional period. Why this period is called as transitional period? Because the period, that is ancient period, was changed into medieval period. Here India entered medieval period from ancient period. So this century onwards, 12th century, that is the second half of the 12th century and first half of the 13th century, the important event that took place in the history of India, that is called as a transitional period, that the period that entry of India, that is from a ancient period to the medieval period. So this period is famously called as medieval period. So remember, this period is famously called as medieval period. Next, what is multi-state political system? Multi means many, more, isn't it? So then what do you mean by multi-state political system? The rule of small kings. The rule of small kings. The rule of small kings. The rule of small kings is called as a multi-state political system. Multi-state political system. So what do you mean by multi-state political system? The rule by small kings or the rule of small kings is called as multi-state political system, and the best example is Rajput dynasties. The rule by Rajput dynasties or the rule of Rajput dynasties was the best example for the multi-state political system. Remember, the best example for multi-state political system is the rule of Rajput dynasties. So what is multi-state political system? Rule of smaller kings. Next, name the important Rajput dynasties. Name the important Rajput dynasties. The important Rajput dynasties that rule over India. One is Gurjara, Pratiharas. Second one is Chandelas of Bundelkhand. Chandelas of Bundelkhand. Chandelas of Bundelkhand. Next, Garhwalas. Next, Solankis. And last one is Paramaras. So important Rajput dynasties that ruled India, especially they ruled western and northern part of India. Rajputs ruled western and northern part of India. The important dynasties were first one Gurjara Pratiharas, second one Chandelas of Bundelkhand, third one Garhwalas, next Solankis, and the last one is Paramaras. So next related to this, who was before that were the famous kings of Rajput dynasty, or name the famous kings of Rajput dynasty. Prithviraj Chauhan III. Prithviraj Chauhan III. Next, Jayachandra Garhwala. Jayachandra from Garhwala dynasty. And next, Garhwala dynasties. And next, Paramaradi Deva of Chandela of one and the same, were the famous rulers of who ruled India from the Rajputa dynasty or Rajput dynasties. Let us discuss about these dynasties, about important question. First, who was the founder of Gurjara Pratihara dynasty? Was the founder of Gurjara Pratihara dynasty. The founder of Gurjara Pratihara dynasty was Nagabhatta. Nagabhatta was the founder of Gurjara Pratihara dynasty. Gurjara Pratihara dynasty. Gurjara Pratihara dynasty, and which was the capital of Gurjara Pratihara dynasty. The capital of Gurjara Pratihara dynasty was Kannauj. Kannauj was the capital of Gurjara Pratihara dynasty. Then who were the famous rulers of Gurjara Pratihara dynasty? The famous rulers of Gurjara Pratihara dynasty. The famous rulers were Mihira Bhoja and Mahendra Pala. Mihira Bhoja and Mahendra Pala were the famous rulers of Gurjara Pratihara dynasty. Then who was an Arab traveller visited the court of Mihira Bhoja? Was the famous Arab traveller who visited the court of Mihira Bhoja. Remember important question, that is Suleiman. Suleiman, Arab traveller visited the court of Mihira Bhoja. Visited the court of Mihira Bhoja. Mihira Bhoja. Next was the last weak ruler of Gurjara Pratihara dynasty, Mahipala. Mahipala was the last weak ruler of Gurjara dynasty. Thus, the Gurjara dynasty was declined. Next, who was the founder of Garhwala dynasty? Chandradeva. Chandradeva was the founder of Garhwala dynasty. And which was the capital? Of Garhwala dynasty? Varanasi was the capital of Garhwala dynasty. Was the founder Chandradeva, and which was the capital? Capital was Varanasi. Next, who was the founder of next dynasty? Palamara dynasty. Gurjara Pratihara dynasty is different. Palamara dynasty is different. Remember who was the founder of Palamara dynasty? Upendra Krishna Raja. Upendra Krishna Raja was the founder of Palamara dynasty, and they made Dharanagar as their capital. Dharanagar was the capital of Palamara dynasty. Dharanagar became the capital of Palamara dynasty. So next comes Solanki dynasty. Who was the founder of Solanki dynasty? Mula Raja the first. Mula Raja the first was the founder of Solanki dynasty. Founder of Solanki dynasty the most famous ruler of Solanki dynasty was Bhima the first and Mula Raja the second. The great contribution of Mula Raja II was he defeated the famous ruler of Ghazni called Muhammad of Ghazni. Muhammad of Ghazni was defeated in the hands of Mula Raja II at Mount Abu. So that was a great contribution of Mula Raja II. Remember, was the Rajput ruler defeated Muhammad Ghazni at Mount Abu, Mula Raja II. The last weak ruler was Karnadeva, who was the last weak ruler of Solanki dynasty. Karnadeva, during that period, Alauddin Khilji sent his military general to defeat the rulers of Rajputa dynasty of Solanki dynasty, that is Ulugh Khan and Nusrat Khan. Ulugh Khan and Nusrat Khan were two military generals of Alauddin Khilji sent to Solanki dynasty to defeat the Rajputa rulers. So they came and defeated Solanki ruler, the last weak ruler called Karnadeva. Karnadeva was defeated by Karnadeva. Last ruler was defeated by the military generals of Alauddin Khilji. Alauddin Khilji. Who were they? Who are the military generals of Alauddin Khilji? One is Ulugh Khan, one more is Nusrat Khan. In this way, Solanki dynasty came under the control of Delhi Sultans. Next, who was the most famous king of Chandelas of Bundelkhand? Ganga was the most important and famous ruler of Chandelas of Bundelkhand. Among all these dynasty, here the most important ruler of were the famous rulers of Rajputa dynasty. The famous rulers of Rajput, that is this dynasty, Chandela dynasty. One is Ajaya Raja, one more is Vigraha Raja IV and Prithvi Raja Datta. The most famous rulers of the Rajput dynasty belong to Chauhan dynasty. The famous dynasty that ruled India, that ruled the northern part of India, north and the western part of India, Chauhan dynasty. Among that famous one is Prithviraj Chauhan III, who was the famous ruler of Rajput dynasty, Prithviraj Chauhan. Prithviraj Chauhan the third. Prithviraj Chauhan the third was the famous ruler of India as well as the famous ruler of Rajputa dynasty. His great contribution was, his great achievement was Battle of Tehri. So during his period, during the period of Prithviraj Chauhan, two battles were broke out between Muhammad Ghori and Prithviraj Chauhan at a place called Tehri. So that battle was famously called as First Battle of Tehri and the Second Battle of Tehri. The battle was broke out at a place called Tehri. So the battle was famously called as the First Battle of Tehri and the Second Battle of Tehri. In the First Battle of Tehri, that was broke out in the year 1191. The Second Battle of Tehri was broke out in the year 1192. So in the First Battle of Tehri, here Prithviraj Chauhan was successful in defeating Muhammad Ghori. Muhammad Ghori was completely defeated in First Battle of Tehri that was broke out in the year 1191 Common Era. So very next year once again he attacked, that is in the year 1192 at the same place called Tehri. A decisive battle was broke out between Muhammad Ghori and Prithviraj Chauhan. And in this war, Prithviraj Chauhan was defeated and he was finally killed by him. So this is about the Rajputa dynasties. So important dynasties. First one is Gujjara Pratihara dynasty, Garhwala dynasty, Solanki dynasty, Chandelas, Chauhans. So among all the dynasties, Chauhan dynasty was very famous and the famous ruler was Prithviraj Chauhan. Prithviraj Chauhan the third was very famous because his great contribution was repelled the attack of Afghan, that is Muhammad Ghor. So Muhammad of Ghor is famously called as Muhammad Ghori, was defeated. In this way he protected India from the hands of Arab invasion. But in second battle, that is in second battle of Terrain, 1192, he was himself defeated and he was killed. So this much about Rajputa dynasty. Remember, only this much for Rajput dynasty, remaining the contribution that is not there for your study. So again and again I am not repeating, for the Rajput dynasty only this much. Next comes, that is Delhi Sultans, only about the political history, not about the contributions.